At 30 years old, Elon Musk made his first fortune by selling his two profitable companies for $1.5 billion in 2002. Musk concluded that a privately funded space venture would be a major next endeavor. The main plan was to turn the oasis on Mars into a greenhouse on the red planet. But the price ended up being too exorbitant. So Musk founded SpaceX and firmly believed that more frequent and reliable launches would reduce the cost of exploration. So he sought out the NASA, a reliable customer that could provide funding for the early stages of its rocket development. Billionaire businessman Elon Musk has announced that the SpaceX company has built a high-tech spacesuit and has hinted that it may have been inspired by sci-fi video games. Mission commander and philanthropist Isaacman, during a discussion of the upcoming all-civilian spacewalk, gave some startling revelations of this new extravehicular spacesuit. NASA announced its intention to purchase new, more adaptable spacesuits for its astronauts, taking another step toward the possibility of putting people on the moon. Would you like to go on a spacewalk on the moon? What would be the first thing you would wear? Let us know your opinion in the comment box. Do not forget to leave your like and subscribe to our channel. NASA announced that it was buying the spacesuits from two commercial companies after spending more than a decade trying to design its own spacesuits. However, SpaceX has developed a spacesuit that will rival the proposals NASA has put forward. SpaceX is well known as a private spaceflight company that launches NASA astronauts to the International Space Station, as well as satellites and people into orbit. However, Elon Musk is also developing and testing a Starship system for future manned expeditions to Mars and lunar landings. U.S. astronauts were scheduled to launch from American soil on May 27th on SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft, marking the first commercial crew flight for NASA and the first astronaut launch since the Space Shuttle era. A decade ago, the pumpkin orange flight suits previously worn by astronauts during the launch phase of NASA-managed shuttle flights have been replaced by the sleek spacesuits that Crew 1 astronauts will don. Before they return to Earth from the International Space Station, the astronauts from the SpaceX crew seemed to have fun while trying out the spacesuits. The images released show the astronauts smiling in their iconic SpaceX spacesuits and helmets, making the most of the absence of gravity. The crew, made up of NASA astronauts and a space agency astronaut from Europe, posed for several photos as they checked the fit of their Dragon spacesuits in preparation for their departure from the station. According to experts on the subject, spacesuits have a lot to recommend. On the one hand, to enhance dexterity in the fingers and other joints of the human body, it also has a new viewer. Astronauts aboard the first manned test flight of SpaceX Crew Dragon have also commented on the differences between the SpaceX suit and other spacesuits they've worn over the years. Hurley, veteran of the Space Shuttle on flights STS-129 and STS-135, commented in a pre-flight press conference on May 1st, without going into many details, that the SpaceX suit is very different from the one we wore on the shuttle. He referred to there were several differences between the so-called suit and the one worn by the Russians, but he added that he never actually went through the full process of making the suit because the so-called was only used as a backup during his brief trip to the International Space Station. Although the SpaceX suit is more rugged, it will undergo the same pre-flight inspections as the so-called suit and gored suit. According to Hurley, before going out on the platform, they check the suits for leaks, the communication system, and all other elements to make sure everything works before being used later by civilians. Two of these SpaceX spacesuits must prove your worth in space. One was used in the replay flying dummy that took off on the SpaceX Crew Dragon Demo 1 unmanned test ride to the International Space Station in 2019. While another was also used in Tesla's driving dummy that was launched on a Falcon Heavy rocket in 2018. The fact that the spacesuit looks like it was built for a movie set may be because it was created by renowned Hollywood costume designer Jose Fernandez, who is best known for his work on the costumes for blockbusters like Wonder Woman, Batman vs. Superman, and Captain America. According to NASA, the SpaceX spacesuit is intended to be practical, lightweight, and offer protection against possible depressurization. The suit that featured an emergency breathing system and the ability to become fully pressurized if the cabin suddenly ran out of oxygen would serve as a comparable form of depressurization protection. According to the organization, the life support systems, including air and energy connections, are fixed through a single connection point on the thigh of the suit. The helmet is custom-made using 3D printing technology and has integrated valves, retraction of the visor, locking mechanisms, and microphones built into the construction of the helmet. To prepare for the risks of space flight, astronauts must undergo specialized training, although it has been emphasized that the suits must work in conjunction with the huge computer panels that astronauts use to monitor Dragon systems and navigate to the planet. International Space Station. SpaceX has kept some of the design details of its spacesuits under wraps. However, according to NASA, each suit is built especially for the astronaut. However, it is said that the SpaceX suits cannot be used for spacewalks. Astronauts will continue to use the Shuttle Air Extravehicular Mobility Unit, which is intended to last approximately 8 to 10 hours while spacewalking. Microgravity tasks in full vacuum and radiation protection is provided. By 2024, NASA hopes to introduce more sophisticated spacesuits designed for the lunar surface. If all goes as planned, the organization will test those lunar spacesuits on its next space flight aboard the ISS in 2023. The suits worn by astronauts on Boeing's Starliner, the second commercial crew vehicle, are quite different from those worn by SpaceX. The astronauts flying the missions will don a blue spacesuit with features such as screen-sensitive gloves, tactile, and more modern materials. Tests continue to be carried out to make it available for human flight. Let us know in the comments if you liked this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss all the curious facts and important information about science and technology that we bring to you in each video.